If you search the technical forums where IT engineers actually operate, BMC's legacy software is described as a decaying corpse of a product. The administrators forced to maintain it cite extreme architectural bloat and system logs that resemble alien hieroglyphs. Yet inside BMC's sales organization, the sentiment is inverted. Professionals there describe a lucrative, perfectly functioning utopia of high-performance leadership and market-leading products. This chart highlights the scale of the disconnect. BMC manages the digital infrastructure for 86% of the Forbes Global 50, generating annual revenues that exceed $2.3 billion. This leads to an obvious question. How does a software company become an immovable titan when the technical staff using its products actively loathe it? In the world of high-stakes enterprise procurement, the user interface is secondary to infrastructure control. Dominance is maintained by solving for executive risk and institutional governance, rather than the daily convenience of the help desk. BMC didn't start as a bloated giant. In 1980, it was a lean, three-person programming partnership in Houston, building specialized software designed to make slow IBM mainframes process data more efficiently. Founder John Morse bypassed expensive, travel-heavy field sales by cold-calling database administrators directly. This high-volume telemarketing model allowed the company to reach massive profitability without a cent of venture capital. By the early 1990s, the rise of decentralized client-server networks presented an existential threat. Analysts began predicting the imminent death of the mainframe, sending BMC's stock into a period of severe volatility. CEO Max Watson responded by shifting the company's entire growth model. Rather than attempting to outcode the shift to network computing, BMC used its cash reserves to launch an aggressive acquisition spree, buying the startups that were already winning the market. This established a permanent strategy for the company. When the technological landscape shifts, you don't write your way out of obsolescence, you buy your way into the future. That strategy reached a fever pitch during the Y2K boom. BMC utilized heavy debt to absorb major competitors like Boole and Babbage and New Dimension to consolidate its grip on the systems management space. The rapid consolidation created immediate friction. Disparate software architectures were forced together, while independent sales cultures clashed over territory and commission structures. The financial impact arrived in early 2000. Days sales outstanding, the time it takes to collect revenue after a deal, spiked to 87 days as the sales force struggled with the new portfolio. The stock plummeted, triggering a wave of shareholder litigation. BMC regained its footing in 2002 by acquiring the assets of Remedy. This transaction gave the company control over the industry-standard platform for IT service desks, cementing its place at the center of the enterprise workflow. Decades of bolting on unrelated platforms created a technical Frankenstein. The software became so complex, simple updates required weeks of hand-editing variables. Yet CIOs prioritize strict top-down governance. These executive requirements maintain the contract, even when the software creates immense friction for the staff. In highly regulated sectors like banking and defense, user experience is a calculated trade-off. Dominance is maintained through infrastructure entrenchment that is simply too expensive and too risky for a CIO to rip out. By the 2010s, cloud-native disruptors like ServiceNow began stealing market share. They offered frictionless, pure SaaS user experiences that made BMC's legacy installations look increasingly obsolete to a new generation of IT leaders. BMC responded by retreating to private equity. Operating away from the scrutiny of public markets allowed the company to shed unprofitable divisions and maximize its recurring subscription revenue in secret. While profitability remained high, the legacy label hampered the company's valuation in the AI era. This necessitated a final structural maneuver, a formal announcement to split the organization in two by early 2025. The first entity, BMC Core, retains traditional mainframe automation, providing steady cash flows from risk-averse institutions. The second entity, Helix, spins off as an independent AI ops firm, shedding legacy baggage to compete for high-growth valuation multiples. This separation allows the private equity owners to isolate the high-multiple software-as-a-service business, potentially preparing it for an independent IPO or a strategic sale. BMC transitioned from a team of programmers to a machine for financial engineering. By continuously acquiring, restructuring, and eventually splitting its own foundation, The company has turned the avoidance of obsolescence into a permanent business model.